Hey guys, welcome to Boardinary Conversations. So this week we're going to be playing a new game. We're all going to be learning something new. The past few weeks we've been playing games that we're pretty familiar with, or at least one of us is, but today we're going to be going into the unknown. We're going to be learning a new game. You guys can learn along with us, and maybe if you like it, you can show it to your friends. So let's get started. Today we're going to be playing Rook. And so this is a game I used to play when I was little, but I haven't really played it in a while. So it's a little confusing at first, but then once you guys kind of get the hang of it or like understand the basic rules, you can kind of like dive into it a little bit further. Okay, so to kind of begin the game, you can play with up to from 2 people to 6 people. But since we have 3, the setup kind of just differs based on how many people you have. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to always want 5 cards as the kitty. That's what you're kind of, we'll get into it in a minute here, but that's what we're kind of vying for in the beginning bid. But really all you're going to want is just 5 as the kitty and then split up the rest of the cards evenly among the players. So because we had 3 people, we had to take out some cards just to make it even. So pretty much you guys can look at your cards. Okay, so make sure you have an even amount of cards between however many players you have. So however many cards you have, so we have 14, so there's going to be 14 tricks in this hand. So to begin, we can't just kind of hop into things. We have to kind of, there's one step you have to go through before you can really get things going. So this is called the kitty. So this is 5 cards. And this is what you're trying to win in this first bid. So we're going to go around and you dealt, Cole. So it's going to be your first bid. And you're going to try and say, how many points you think you can win in this hand. So if you guys look at your cards, there are some that are numbered. They have a little number next to it. So there's like 14s are 10 points, 5 are 5 points, 10 are 10 points, 1s are 15, and then there's one rook card that has the little bird on it. And that is worth 20, I believe. And so, when we're going around in a hand, if you lead a card, then, and it has like points on it, and then you win that hand, however many points are in that trick, you win. Does that make sense? So like, we're gonna put down 3 cards, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a trump-based game. If you guys come and play.
So whoever lays down the highest.
So like, the trump are the colors. So let's say we're gonna go through a practice round, obviously.
Yes.
So let's say I make trump and it's red, and so you make trump if you win the bid. But we'll kind of get into that later. But so let's say it's red and I lead a red. This is a red 14. So now, if you have a red, you have to play red. But if you don't, then you can play whatever color you want. But since red is trump, it's going to beat everything except for the hierarchy within red. So 14s and then 1s and the rook are the only 2 higher cards in this hierarchy. So it goes rook, 1, 14, and then 13 on down.
Okay.
Except for the 1, obviously.
Yeah. So it goes all the way down to 2, but one is high.
Yeah. So like since this is trump, this will be any other color, but then within red, then there's this other hierarchy, like numerical hierarchy.
Okay. That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I swear it's easy. It's a little confusing at first. So to begin the game, I kind of alluded to this already. So we are going to start the bidding based on like the number of points we think we can win based on like with the hand that we have. So it's a minimum of 50 points. So like if you just want to like start it out, you'd say like 50 points, and then it has to go in terms of like 5 points or like increments of 5. So let's say you say 50, and then I'm like, oh, I can do 65 points just based on what I think I can win. And then Cole says 70, and then you don't think you can beat that, so you just say like pass or something like that. And then if I say pass, then let's say you win and you win the kitty. And you can take whatever you want out of this, and then you just discard another 5. So you can take, if there's anything you want in here that you think would help you in winning 75 points, you take that, and you take out the bad cards you have in your hand and put them back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's say you take it, and then you just guys have to be kind of mindful of like, okay, you got to look at your cards and be like, okay, how many hands do you think I can win? Anyway, to get started, we're gonna start with a bid. So really all that is just you saying how many points you think you can get in this hand. So there are 5 cards that are worth points. So there's a rook card, there's only one of them. That's kind of like the wild, like the wild card of this game. So it can kind of beat whatever, and it's worth the most points. There's just one of them. Then there's ones, and there's 4 colors and 4 ones for each, or one for each color. Very confusing.
That's a lot of math.
Yeah. And so there's a numerical hierarchy within each color. And it goes 1, 14, and then 13 through 2. And they beat each other based on how high the number is. It's simple. So really when we're going through this bidding, you just got to kind of decide, okay, like you got to look at your cards and say, how many points do you think I can win based on, do I have some good cards that I think can get some points? How many of each? Like if you have a lot of one color, that can get you some points. There's kind of some strategy that you pick up when you're playing, and you'll probably pick up on that once we start playing a little bit. It's pretty simple. So we'll start at 50 points. That's kind of the minimum, and we'll work our way up. So now that I won the bid, I'm the last one standing. I get to win the kitty. And so I can take whatever I want. If there's cards I want to use that can kind of win, I think can win more hands, I'll take that, and then I'll just discard 5 that I don't want. Okay. So I think I'm going to make Trump yellow.
Ooh. I am donezo.
So that's my lead. So you should explain this now. Trump can't be played or can't be led until it gets played in. So when we're playing, let's say I lead, so I'm going to lead this green one. So that's not Trump, but you guys have to follow the color. So if I play a green, you're going to have to play green. If you have it, you'll play green if you have it. And if you don't, then it's open to you playing whatever color you want. So you could play Trump. But if you have green, then you have to lead, or you have to play that. Okay, so for those of you, I played a green 1, Cole played a green 13, and Isaiah played a green 4. So because of that, I win because the ones are the highest in that hierarchy. So now you just have to play a black, unless you don't have it, then you can toss Trump on.
Yeet.
There. So now whoever wins each hand wins the lead. So.
Oh, so now
Isaiah,
I lead
it's
with
your
it.
lead. Yeah.
Gotcha. Ooh.
Nope. It's me, dude.
Oh,
You're right. You're
yeah.
right.
Okay, so
Yellow's Trump.
this is the first instance of that.
Gold is Trump.
So red was led. So if you have red, then you need to play that. But since I didn't have any red, I'm free to play whatever color I want. So I play Trump to win the hand back. that makes sense. Do you guys have any questions so far? It's pretty simple once you
Yeah.
start
So
playing.
it's not about how high the number is, it's about the points.
Yeah.
So let's say I have a 5, but it has 5 points on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's less valuable is this 11.
Yeah, like if you're, let's say you know you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Let's say Cole has, like I played and then Cole played and he's winning, and you know you can't beat the card that Cole played. I would probably play like
Go with the 11 instead of the 5.
possibly just because you don't want to just hand them over points.
Right.
You know, so you kind of have to decide like.
But at the same time, the 11 might win you a hand.
Right. So you just have to. It's kind
Ah.
of like this strategy of you just kind of have to decide like, is this 11 going to be
Useful.
worthwhile? Yeah, useful to me further on down the road, or can I just throw it away to not give Cole points?
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit of just like preference and like strategy.
Dilemma.
Yeah,
Okay, who's up?
I am.
I might not have. So let's say like you have like a good amount of Trump, but let's say you don't have like the 1 or something like that. And you know like, oh, my 14 is not going to be able to win because the 1 is lurking out there somewhere in your guys' hands. So maybe you would play off some like lower Trump cards, so then your opponents still have to play Trump, flushing out these big cards, so then you're able to play your big cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got dealt a bad hand.
I think I bid too high.
5? Here's the thing, you can just trump me no matter what. That's what you're gonna do.
So I did this because this is my highest card.
Yeah.
And I'll just be honest with you guys, I don't have the rook. I know one of you knows that. But there's an opportunity for me to still win these 15 points because you guys played the rook hasn't shown itself yet.
Mhm.
So I'm still scared to lead this, but I can play it right now because I know the rook's not here and I can still win the 15 points. Does that
Okay.
make sense? Cool.
So wait, okay, let's say he laid down like a black 6, but I had a red 7. Who would win that round?
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
So
okay.
it's whatever color is led, you have to play within that. And if you play an off color that's not Trump, so let's say yellow is Trump.
Yeah.
He plays a black 6, and I play a black 4, but then you play a red 7,
Yeah.
then he still wins because he has the highest black.
Okay.
And like yours, even though it's higher numerically, it's the color that matters at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's coming.
Not even funny.
Nice. There it is.
You're holding that. For
So that might be
that's the rook. That's the rook, by the
that's
way.
it right there. So it might be a little confusing, I know, to you guys and to you guys watching.
All 4 of you.
But we're gonna play another round
Jesus.
now that we've kind of gotten a little acclimated to the game. If you guys want to play along, or you can always check out our bio. We're gonna have the rules, and yeah. So
Why don't we go through our point totals and
yeah,
explain that?
yeah, we should.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you actually won the last hand, so you get
Yeah.
these two.
So 1 is how many points? 10?
15.
15.
So that's the only one that's not marked that's worth points. So the ones are worth 15. Everything else is marked with the
Gotcha.
point total.
So this is useless. 9,
Yeah. So everything else that besides
9,
ones and the things that are marked.
15,
I'm ready to use
25. I got a whole 25 points.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I hit 70.
I got 75.
Oh.
So- I bid 80. That was my bid.
Okay.
And now that I didn't get 80, I got 75. I go negative 80.
Oh, so you lost.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
lost big time. So you guys set me is like what you would call. So then I go negative 80, and then you guys just add up whatever points you
Oh,
collected during this hand,
Okay.
and that goes towards your point. And then you just set like, oh, we'll play until someone hits 200 points or 100 points. You know, you can just make it as long as you want.
I like that.
And that's pretty much it. And then you just keep repeating this process until you hit that point total.
Now
20, 30,
makes more sense.
Yeah. So it's pretty easy. It looks complicated on paper, but it's pretty simple. All right, so that was it. I lost very badly. So I hope you guys were able to follow along. It looks pretty complicated on paper, but once you start playing, it's pretty simple. And if you still are a little confused,
Like
then
Isaiah.
yeah, like
I'm very
Isaiah, we're gonna put the Rook rules in our bio, so you can click on that, read up, and then kick all your friends' butts. And yeah, that's it. Tune in next time. And yeah,
Boardinary Conversations.
thanks.